he gave me the tip to start doing Topps trading cards. So I submitted. I did a bunch of little sketch cards and sent them to Topps. My first set was Empire Strikes Back, black and white, 2019, I think.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sith Talk. Today we have on the show Seth Groves. How you doing, Seth?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. So can you tell us a little bit about what you do and where we can find you at?
Yeah, so I am a freelance illustrator and traditional artist, meaning I paint most everything I do like traditionally. And you can find me at Seth Groves Illustration on most social media, and sethgroves.com is my website. So
Nice. So everybody that comes on, we start off with 3 Star Wars questions to warm up. You ready?
all right, yeah, let's do it.
All right. The first one is, what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh man, okay. So this is always a loaded question for me because I have a favorite, but I don't think it's the best.
Okay.
So my favorite one to watch all the time is Revenge of the Sith.
Nice.
The lightsaber fights, the heartbreak of Anakin's fall. There's just so many amazing. The way it starts out, oh my gosh, diving into
Yeah.
the battle over Coruscant. There's just so many amazing parts of it, and so that's my absolute favorite one to watch. And I think it's a fantastic film. Don't get me wrong,
Oh, yeah.
but I think the best Star Wars movie is Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
It's like a perfect film. There's nothing you could really take out. The bad guys win, which I always love.
Yes.
So yeah, I think Empire's the best one, but my favorite is Revenge of the Sith.
Nice. That's what most people's favorites are. It's usually either Revenge or Empire, and a lot of times it depends on the age, because usually the more of the OGs, older generation is Empire, and
Yeah,
the little bit more younger is Revenge. But
yeah,
no.
35. So that's yeah.
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 So, I loved how the bad guys won an Empire, and we don't get that a lot. It's rare. Like Infinity War, when that movie ended, the Marvel movie, and like
Mhm.
Thanos won, I was just so like shocked because that
Yeah.
usually doesn't happen. It's usually a happy ending. The good guys win. So
Mhm.
definitely love seeing stuff like that for sure.
I think it's a underused thing in Hollywood. Recently, I just like one of my favorite films of all time right now is Across the Spider-Verse, right?
Oh yeah.
The second one, and the bad guys win in that too. Our
Yeah.
heroes are in turmoil and trouble at the end, and
Yeah.
so a lot of my favorite films are when the bad guy like wins, because like that sets up such a great third act possibilities of
Yeah.
like what could happen.
I know, and it's funny you bring up Across the Spider-Verse because yesterday they finally gave the release date for the next one, the final one. It's
Yeah,
like June 4th, 2027, though. It's
it's
so
so far. It was supposed to come out like last year, I think. And
yeah.
yeah, how did it get delayed 3 years? I don't know. I hope it's perfect though. That's my
Yeah.
only, like, they got all that time, make it perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
better be. So
Yeah.
the next question is, what is your favorite Star Wars show?
Show. Ooh, that's tough. I would probably have probably Rebels. Um,
Nice.
Man, I love Rebels.
Yeah.
I recently, a couple months ago, I rewatched it beginning to end, and man, it's like a tearjerker for me. And I start out like not liking Ezra very much, like in the beginning, kind of like how I didn't love Ahsoka, like right when she kind of came out too. And
Yep.
the ability to build a character into a character that I absolutely love, from somebody I didn't really like very much, like right at first, or just wasn't feeling at first, I guess, is there's a real like a build. I don't know. There's a does something to my heart when you turn me over like that. I love that.
Yeah.
So love Rebels.
Yeah, I feel Rebels is so slept on because that show gives you a whole new family to love and grow with,
Mhm.
but it also has everybody from like the OT, like Vader's
Yeah,
in it, Obi-Wan, R2, 3PO, Leia's in it, Lando's
yeah.
in it. Like it's like a buffet of all your favorite Star Wars characters. Maul's
Mhm.
in it.
Yeah,
So
it's one of Maul's coolest like character arcs and stuff. I mean,
yes.
yeah, I think if it was like live action and done to the degree it was, it would be like the number one Star Wars thing, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be amazing, and Rebels is my favorite too, like, especially I love Clone Wars, but, like, seasons 1 through 6 is great, but I love Rebels
Hmm.
better, but it's just
Hmm.
that season 7 of Clone Wars makes me, like, go back and forth between, do I like Rebels or Clone Wars better?
Hmm.
But Rebels is awesome, and that's why I love the Ahsoka show because it's literally Rebels season 5 live action,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The new Ahsoka's just one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm super biased with Ahsoka because I love Rebels. So even though I would say Mando is the better show live action,
Hmm.
I just love Ahsoka because it's Rebels. It's Ahsoka,
Yeah.
it's Ezra, Chopper, Thrawn. Hayden came back and crushed it in that show.
Oh my gosh, dude, seeing live action Clone Wars. Oh my god. I can't I'll
Bro,
never have that feeling again when it came on the screen. I just like looked over at my wife and we looked at each other. We were like, is this really happening? Like,
yes.
oh my god. Yeah, it was what an
I
amazing surprise.
I was the same way, like, during my reaction video, I was like, "I can't take this. This is too much. This is, like, too
Yeah.
exciting, too good." And it was, like, basically the entire episode seeing Rex live action, young Ahsoka live action, Hayden with the shorter hair, Attack of the Clones
Yeah.
almost in between that in
Yeah.
between era. It was
Hmm.
and then seeing him in the revenge outfit again with the saber, with the red blade for the first time.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
it's
That
beautiful.
that episode, I mean, we ate on that episode, dude. Like, wow. Yeah, they cooked so hard with that episode, man. I loved
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yes. So, last question is
All right.
who's your favorite Star Wars character?
Oh, oh, that's tough. There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
I often whenever I'm asked this, I usually say Boba Fett because Boba Fett's design, in my opinion, is like one of the greatest designs ever.
Yeah.
Like it's so ahead of its time, yet so vintage feeling, and like it's literally timeless.
Yep.
I think it's like a perfect design. I truly do. And it gives like history with the beat up armor, the dent. Where did the dent come from? Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, it begs so many awesome questions. So I would say Boba Fett, although I'll caveat that with I didn't absolutely love the Boba Fett show.
Yeah. I
I
feel
liked
that.
parts.
Yeah.
Parts were cool. There was some cool stuff. But it wasn't my favorite show. So it's hard to say like character arc wise through all of Star Wars that he's like my favorite character.
Mhm.
So design wise, Boba Fett, my like character that I love the most and stuff has got to be like Anakin Vader. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
the tragedy of that, the um, kind of the push and pull of like chosen one, like is he, isn't he? There's
Mhm.
still so much ambiguity with like his role with that. The the tragedy of watching him fall is literally like every single time I watch Revenge of the Sith, I'm rooting for him not to fall.
Yeah.
And then he does, and I'm surprised every time. I'm so dumb. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm rooting for him. Like, no, Anakin. And then when
Yeah.
Obi-Wan hits him with "You were my brother, Anakin," I almost cry every time, dude. So I'd have to say Anakin Vader is probably my favorite overall character. Like and design wise, I mean, I love that as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, and it's so crazy because like he has had the most character development ever because it started in 77 with Vader, and
yeah,
even to last year or whenever we got Ahsoka, his story is still continuing and
yeah,
probably into Ahsoka season 2. I have a feeling we're gonna get more. So like his it's just crazy, and I never get sick of that Anakin Vader story. I'll eat it up, take as much more of it, call it fan service, whatever you want.
yeah,
Give me more Hayden, more Clone Wars stuff. I'm
yeah.
all down for it, man.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I don't know why they have not done like a short Vader series of just him handling a situation.
Yes.
Like, put Hayden in the suit, write it well. It's not fan service if you write a really compelling story. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we got some of that with Obi-Wan, but I want it to just be super Vader focused and
Yeah.
give us all his rituals, give us more Mustafar. Let's get him like dealing with some issues in a
Yeah.
very Sith Lord badass kind of way. Yeah,
I know. Like, there's so much dope stuff in comics. Like, give us
yeah,
Vader like, with the Inquisitors, because he was like a jerk
hmm
to the Inquisitors, and he hated them.
yeah,
Like, give us stuff with that, him just trying to hunt down Kenobi, or even if it's after Kenobi. There's
hmm
just so much they could do. The
hmm
selfish thing that I want, because Darth Maul is probably my favorite character. It's between
hmm
Maul and then Anakin Vader, but
hmm
I would love to see Vader and Maul going at it, because I think stuff happened in the comics, but, like, in Rebels, when Maul was there on Malachor, and when Vader
yeah.
showed up, Maul
hmm
was scared and
He was terrified.
he dipped
Yeah,
quick. Why? I want to see why
why he's
Maul
scared
is
of him.
scared of Vader, because
Yeah,
clearly there was a fight. They both survived, but I bet Vader whipped his ass and scared the hell out of him.
yeah. Give us that. Just
Yeah,
give us that. Yeah, yeah. That'd be sick, man.
yeah, that'd
I'd
be
love to see it.
awesome. So, you're a freelance illustrator, traditional painter. How long
hmm
have you been doing that for, and how'd you get into that?
Oh man. So I've been painting, or I've been like drawing and painting and stuff most of my life. I started out my mom doing arts and crafts and stuff when I was a kid. I think
Mhm.
that really like helped cultivate the my brain into creating visual stuff. So we did a ton of that when I was young. So a lot of credit to my mom for being a hands-on mom and doing all that type of stuff with me. But I took classes in high school, but
Mhm.
didn't do a lot after high school. I kind of quit doing art for a few years after high school, and then funny enough, what kind of stoked this is I started drawing just a little bit. Probably 20. What year would that have been? 2014 or so.
Okay.
It's about 11 years ago, and then my wife and I went on a deployment. I'm in the Air Force, or I was active duty back then.
Mhm.
I went on a deployment to Afghanistan for 6 months. Got back from that, and my wife and I we bought tickets for Star Wars Celebration Anaheim that year,
Mm.
and super hype on that. The Force Awakens was coming out, so we were
Yeah.
super pumped on new Star Wars, and so we got tickets to that, and we went there, and I was at this Star Wars Celebration art show. So it's funny, in Japan this is going to kind of come full, might kind of bring a lot of my story like full circle.
Uh-huh.
um, but I was at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim like 2014, 2015, whatever
2015 was
you
Anaheim, yeah.
2015. Okay. And we were in the artist alley, and I met some artists in there, and um, I was walking around and looking at the art and stuff, and I was talking to my wife, and I said, like, how cool is this? Like, these people make a living like doing this art and
Yeah.
stuff. And I said, I wish I could do this. And my wife said, like, and I noticed my wife like stopped behind me. We were walking and talking, and she stopped, and like I turned back around, and she had kind of like tears in her eyes, and she's like, "You can do this. You could do this."
Yeah.
And every time I tell that story, I tear up because like that was her believing in me, like
Yeah.
gave me belief in me.
Uh-huh.
And when I'm in Japan here in what, a couple weeks, like that's her belief like 11 years ago that kind of sparked this thing that is going to get us a trip to Japan to sell my art and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really cool, man.
That is awesome. So, how from there, after there, how did you get into, like, doing the Star Wars art
Oh
and
yeah.
being and having them as a client? Like, what was your first in like, with that?
Yeah. I guess I kind of skipped a bunch of it there. So yeah, I'll go back. So at Celebration Anaheim, I started talking with a fantastic Star Wars artist, Brandon Kinney,
Mhm.
who, if you haven't checked out his work, go check out Brandon's work. He's amazing.
Yeah.
So he was doing some like traditional pieces. I have a original ray of him out here
Mhm.
in my hallway. He does amazing like traditional work, and he was kind enough to start like giving me advice. I was like, how did you get into this, man? How does one even find your way into this type of thing? And so he gave me the tip to start doing Topps trading cards.
Ooh.
So I submitted. I did a bunch of little sketch cards as like samples and sent them to Topps, and they got me on a top set. My first set was Empire Strikes Back, black and white, in like
Ooh.
2019, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so that was my first set. That was my first like licensed Star Wars product. And so once you have a licensed Star Wars, once you have done any licensed work for Star Wars, you can submit for Star Wars Celebration. And so I went from doing Tops. I then submitted a ton of times with a ton of different concepts to Acme Archives.
Mm.
I had to face a ton of rejection there.
Mm.
They rejected a lot of my concepts at first and stuff, but I stuck with it and believed that I could get I could get there and make some posters and stuff.
Yeah.
And eventually they accepted my dark saber piece. That was my first licensed Star Wars piece.
Nice.
And then now I think I've done like 5 or 6 different projects with them, and then a joint project with them and Bottleneck Gallery on my Ahsoka's Path piece. And
That piece, I'm looking at it right now. This is the first
mm,
time I've really seen it. That thing is insane and beautiful. It's completely sold out
thank
though,
you.
right?
So yeah, it's sold out online and stuff. I have a few copies that I'm going to bring with me to Celebration Japan to
Oh,
sell there. So I will have some available at Celebration Japan. So
I
I
got
expect
I
them to go quick.
I got dibs on one of them because I will be
All
there
right.
day one. That thing, I'm looking at it now. I'm like, yo, with Balin and oh my, yeah, bro. Yeah, I'll be first in line. Don't worry.
All right, man. Heck yeah. Yeah, so I'll have some copies there. I'll have the regular version, and then I'll have a few of the black and white version
Oh,
that I was able to secure, and I've kind of kept to sell at Celebration because I think it's just it fits Celebration so well.
yeah,
So with the cherry blossoms and stuff. So yeah, I'll have some of those there. I'll have some of my other prints there as well, and then I'll actually have the original Ahsoka painting with me too. So
ooh,
and I'll have a chunk of like my original like licensed pieces with me.
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is so cool. So 2015, you were inspired at Celebration. Then it just took you a couple years to get in with Tops. And then
Mhm.
after that, did you try for the art shows for like Anaheim in
Oh
2022,
yeah.
London? Oh, so you tried and then no luck.
I This was like I think the 5th celebration that I had applied to. First one getting
Oh,
in.
so you
Yeah.
tried Chicago 2020, Anaheim 2022, and then 2023 London.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then so you tried for the fifth time. What was your reaction when you got that email saying that you got in? Like, what was that
Yeah.
like?
I So there's a long period there where you submit the art, and there's like almost 2 months, I think. It might have been almost 3 months this time around, and you're just waiting on like the date. And in the contract or in the email you get back, it says the earliest you will know is this date. So
Uh-huh.
basically, from when that date hits, you just have anxiety about any
Ugh.
email you get. And sometimes, like I remember one year, they didn't tell us like 4 days or something after that first date. So we were all just on edge for 4 days
Yeah.
basically, because me and a lot of my friends also submit. So this particular time, I was like down in my basement, like doing some printing and stuff like that, and I got the email, and I had been rejected with this same email like 4 times prior to this. So I took a deep breath and I was like, all right, it's going to say thank you very much, but you were not selected. That's okay. It's okay. I'll get into the next one.
Yeah.
And opened up the email, and my wife was upstairs, and she it was my art email account, and she helps me with a lot of administration stuff, so she's got access to that email as well. And we both read it, and I sprinted up the stairs, and she was off the couch like
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool. And then I cried.
Yeah, that's
Because
exciting,
I mean,
man.
just a dream coming true, man. Yeah.
Yeah, getting in and then, like, Japan of all places, like, what a trip and what a first time to have your art show is in
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah, yeah. I studied Japanese in high school. Been taking like
Oh,
I've been taking tutoring lessons. I've got like a 600-day streak on Duolingo. Like
nice.
uh I love Japanese. I love Japan, and yeah, for that to be my first show just really feels like I don't know, like it's too good to be true, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
have you been to Japan before?
I've been to Okinawa for 2 weeks a couple years back, and that was super cool. But I'm
Yeah,
so excited for Tokyo because there's no city like Tokyo, man. So
yeah.
it's gonna be incredible, and we're staying for like 2 weeks after.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, yeah,
That's so you guys are really gonna enjoy it. A few of the artists that I spoke to, a lot of them have kinda, like, tight windows, and they're not
yeah.
gonna be there that long, but
Hmm.
2 weeks after, bro, you're gonna get to see and do so much and really absorb that culture and that vibe over there.
I know, man. I can't wait to immerse myself in it. I'm going to try to speak as much as I possibly can. It's going to be
Yeah,
rough, but the Japanese people are so kind and stuff that if you speak any at all, they get like fairly excited that you're trying it and stuff.
yeah,
So I'm going to try as hard as I can, see what I can hopefully get more fluent and stuff all over
yeah.
there. And yeah, my wife, she has like a job where she can kind of work remotely, and so she's going to work a
Oh.
couple of days remote in Japan. I've got art projects I'll have to work on while I'm there, but
Yeah.
sitting in a cafe over
Oh,
Shibuya Crossing or
yeah,
something, that's the place to
what?
work, dude. Yeah.
That'll be so sick. Oh,
Yeah.
man, that is awesome, man. That is so
Yeah.
cool.
So excited, man.
So, your print that you have for Japan, the Phantom
Yeah.
Menace,
Yeah.
what was your inspiration? Like, what made you choose oh, man, look at that thing. Wow. That is beautiful.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I love how the gold foils turned out. This is the final proof right here. And
Yeah.
yeah, the gold looks so cool, man. I love it. Yeah. So my inspiration was I was watching Phantom Menace for like the 100th time probably or millionth maybe, I don't know. So many, I just throw those on all the time while I paint and
Yeah.
stuff. And I think I looked up right at the moment where she's like looking out the window
Mhm.
and she's getting they're getting invaded by the droid army,
Yeah.
and I looked up, and it's funny, like sometimes you'll look at stuff the same over and over and over again, but every once in a while something will like pop out and you'll look at it kind of different. And I looked at the floor on the way up her dress or whatever. When I looked at the floor, I like saw Maul in it.
Oh.
And if you look at the photo of if you look up that photo, you can kind of see what I mean.
Okay.
I think it's so obvious.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of times when I see something like that, I go, ah, man, some other artist has probably done that. Like,
Mhm.
I go, ah, well, if I've seen it, 1,000 artists before me probably saw this and did this. And I think one something about listening to your artist instinct um, is seeing something like that, and then if it seems obvious but nobody's done it before, then you go, oh, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
So I immediately was like, oh dude, if I could do that and tie them all into the floor and find a composition that works and stuff, I think that could be a really cool Phantom Menace piece. And so I started sketching right then and there, and yeah, the kind of piece just kind of came together. I knew I wanted to do the like gold filigree and stuff around the edge in sort
Mhm.
of this Art Nouveau sort of style, but also
Yeah.
pull in because like you can't see oh, hold on here. You can't see the front of her dress, which I love all the like the detailing and stuff that's at the front of the dress. So I said maybe I can pull that in
Mm.
with some of this here on the sides and stuff, and get a lot of those beautiful details.
Nice. So
Yeah.
the crazy thing is, when I did, like, my reaction video to the art show and seeing everyone's prints, I saw yours and I'm
Mhm.
like, "This is gorgeous, this is beautiful." And then,
Thank you.
like yeah, and then later that day, somebody commented, they're like, "You saw Maul in his picture, right?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I didn't see the Darth Maul the first time,
Yeah,
and when I
that's
went
good.
back
That's
to
how I
look
want it to be,
no,
kind of. Like, I want, like,
yeah,
some people do, some people don't, and then that
I
gives that phantom thing, you know? Yeah.
I thought the guy was trolling in the comments, so when I went back and I looked, I was like, "That is Darth Maul." Like, I completely missed it, and now I can't not see he's just staring at me right now on the screen
Yeah,
because I have
yeah,
the picture up, but that is just so crazy because, like, I didn't see it at all. I had to have people
yeah.
point it out, and even a few other friends, I'm like, "You saw Maul, right?" They were like, "No," and they saw it, they were like their mind was blown. It was crazy, man.
Yeah, I like that some people miss it. I really do, 'cause
Yeah.
I could have made it much more apparent, in my original, like, designs and drawings and stuff, it was pretty obvious that he was down there, but then that in my opinion, that takes away, like, the phantom part of Phantom Menace, you
Yeah.
know? So, I wanted to, and there's some debate on, like, whether he's the Phantom Menace. I don't think he is. Palpatine probably
How
is, right? Like,
yeah.
that's the name. But in this particular situation, I was putting him as the Phantom. I'm
Yeah,
referring
yeah.
to him as that. But I wanted it to be a like a third read almost. I wanted you to almost overlook it, and then when you see it, you can't unsee it because it's kind of haunting and just these eyes staring back at you. So
That's exactly what happened. I saw nothing, and now every time I look at it, that's the first thing I see. I go from the bottom
yeah,
up now just because,
nice.
just because I know that he's there. Now,
Yeah.
was this the only one you submitted, or did you submit a second one? Because I know you guys were allowed to submit 2.
Yeah, I submitted a second one. It was a episode 3 piece.
Oh,
Um and yeah, I'm in the talks. It'll see the light of day eventually as a
nice.
licensed piece.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in talks to get that done, but it
Nice.
didn't get accepted for celebration. So yeah, but that should come out eventually, and I'm really proud of that one too. It's yeah, it's pretty. I can't say any
Nice.
more about it, but yeah,
No, for
yeah,
sure,
it's
for
good.
sure. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So, Anaheim 2015, that was your first celebration ever. What was your
Mhm.
experience like overall going to your first celebration?
Oh man, it's a lot to take in.
Yeah,
Um, I still currently do like tons of different comic cons. I go to New York. All of these to sell. I go to C2E2. I went to San Diego last year.
nice.
So I do tons of different comic cons, but I think there's just nothing like Star Wars Celebration because it's only one thing you're there for.
Yep,
Everybody's there for Star Wars, man, and like that, it's my number one fandom by far.
yep.
You'll see in Japan, I got like my legs all tattooed up in Star Wars, and like
Nice.
I love Star Wars. I live and breathe it. So
Yeah,
celebration is, it feels like home, dude. Like you're so excited. It's so exhausting because you're like
yeah,
your adrenaline's just through the roof the whole time, and
yep.
I loved it, man. We've been to every one except Europe. This last time we didn't go to Europe, but
Oh,
yeah. So we go even if I don't get in as an artist, I still go. I see my friends. We go to the panels. Like
yeah.
we're there as fans as
S
well. So
so you went to 2017 Orlando,
yep,
2019 Chicago,
yep,
2022 Anaheim,
yep.
and then you didn't go to London, right?
Didn't go to London. No.
So you've
Yeah,
been to 4 total so far.
yeah, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so it's funny, I was living in Orlando 2017, and I drove by the convention center, and I saw banners that said Star Wars Celebration, and
Hmm.
I didn't know what it was. I'm like, "What is that? I love Star Wars. What the heck is this?" And me and my buddy Ricky, we went Thursday, Friday, had the time of our lives. Cause like you said, it's one thing, all Star Wars. And like the thing that was crazy was the vibe was so different than other conventions because everybody just
Hmm.
the energy there and everyone was just so happy and everybody was nice. Everybody was in a good
Hmm.
mood. It was a vibe I've never experienced anywhere else. And since
Yeah,
then, I haven't missed. I did Chicago,
yeah.
Anaheim, London. Japan is about to be my fifth. So,
Nice, dude.
uh, yeah, out of the 4 you went to, what was your favorite? What was your favorite
Oh man.
celebration? Because I know mine out of the 4 that I've been to.
Oh, that's tough. Um. um Trying to think of what experiences I've had. It
Yeah,
might be
yeah.
Orlando 2017, man. one of my favorite things was, and they stopped doing this, the like queuing overnight thing. But
Oh,
my
yeah,
wife
yeah,
and I,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, my wife and I queued overnight, and like Anthony Daniels and Ryan Johnson, because
Last
Last
Jedi was
Jedi was
coming.
just
Yep.
about to come out. They made like appearances through the night. We literally slept on like concrete floors, but it's
Yep.
still one of my favorite memories of. I don't know. I like when things like suck like that.
Yeah, yeah,
I liked Afghanistan, like,
yeah.
and I wasn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna steal valor from like dudes who did really hard, horrible things in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I liked I like when stuff kind of sucks or whatever, I guess. So I don't know. One of my fondest memories is staying on that cold concrete floor to see the panels the next
Yeah,
day,
yeah,
and yeah, man, yeah, that's probably one of my favorites. Also, I love Orlando. I love that convention center.
yeah.
And then there's like great food right around there and stuff
Oh,
too. So
tons of food.
yeah, that's probably my favorite, man. Although Chicago was pretty nice because I live in Indianapolis, so
Uh-huh.
it's like a 2.5 hour drive up north.
Oh, that's
So
nothing.
that's the closest one we've had, which was great.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Yeah, it's hard to pick though because I truly just love them the entire time I'm there, every time, man.
I didn't get so I didn't know about panels at my first celebration, so I didn't know a
Uh,
thing. But in
mhm.
Orlando, did you get into the Carrie Fisher panel?
No, we didn't get to Carrie Fisher.
Oh,
We did the Last Jedi
yeah.
panel. I'd have to look back too. I have a bad memory with this stuff.
Because you heard who showed up to the Carrie Fisher panel, right?
Oh no, no, who did?
Whoa, bro. And it's
I
crazy.
probably heard this at the time, but yeah.
Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and George Lucas were all on stage for that
Oh my
panel.
gosh.
And
No, I would
then
remember that. I was definitely not there.
and then all of a sudden a curtain dropped and John Williams is there with the live band doing Leia's theme in memory of her passing away. Bro, I would have cried. If I would have
Oh
seen
yeah.
George, Mark, Harrison, and then John Williams playing Leia's theme. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that right now.
Yeah,
If I
yeah,
could be
yeah,
in that room to
yeah.
experience that panel, man. Oh,
Man, yeah. That'd be a tearjerker, dude. If you don't, I think if you don't cry, you're probably not actually a Star Wars fan.
yeah, man. That's
Yeah.
very overwhelming. I almost cried
Mhm.
in Anaheim. I got into the Lucasfilm Showcase panel on the first day. Were you in that panel?
Mm-mm. No, I didn't get that
Oh,
one.
so that one, this panel was wild. I almost cried and had a heart attack twice because it was too much. So we're sitting waiting for it to start. The lights turn black, and all of a sudden, there's a full choir on stage singing "Duel of the Fates," which is my favorite
Oh,
song. So
yeah.
hearing that at a live choir, I'm like, "Yo!"
It's
I
bone
was already,
chilling, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, Hayden walks out of one side of the stage, Ewan walks out of the other side, and we didn't know Hayden was going to be at the event, so it was
Yeah.
surprised us. They invited us to come back that night to watch the first 2 episodes of Kenobi with the cast at the red carpet premiere. So that
Oh
was
my
like
gosh, dude.
that was nuts. Then all of a sudden, like halfway through, the stage lifted up, it span around, and John Williams was there with his orchestra, and he did like the Imperial March, Indiana Jones theme, the brand new Kenobi theme, which was mind blowing seeing John Williams in person. And halfway through one of the songs, Harrison Ford just walks out on stage to wish John Williams a happy birthday. And I'm like,
No way.
what? I'm like, bro, there's John, there's freaking Han.
Uh,
What is going on? It was such a special hour of my life, Star Wars
yeah.
wise, seeing all that. And then we got like a trailer for like Mando 3 before it came out. We got like Ahsoka stuff. Like it was just so overwhelming in a good way, and that's probably like my favorite panel I've ever been to, which was nuts,
Yeah.
nuts,
Heck yeah,
so
dude.
good.
That
But
sounds incredible, man. Yeah.
it was. But I think my favorite celebration I've been to, Chicago 2019.
Hmm.
It was special there because I finally learned how panels work. So we got into some panels. So we got into the Mando panel before Mando came
Mm,
out, and we
yeah.
got to watch the first 7 minutes of the first episode.
Oh, dude, I was in that one.
Yeah,
Yes.
4 months
Yes.
before it came out.
Oh,
And then John was like, "You want to watch it again?" We were like, "Yeah."
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I remember the poster with the circle door and Mando
Yeah.
silhouetted. Yeah, I still have that, man.
Me too, me too,
Yeah,
yeah.
incredible,
So,
dude. Yeah.
that panel was special. Phantom Menace panel we got into, so, like, Ray Park, Ahmed Best, Ian McDermott, it was dope hearing them talk, and
Mhm.
then I didn't go to these other panels, but we got the Fallen Order trailer. Fallen Order is an amazing game. We
Amazing game.
got Clone Wars Season 7 trailer with Maul and seeing we're getting more Maul, which was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I
And
think I was
then
in that panel too. Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a couple good ones that year, yeah.
And then the Rise of Skywalker panel, my buddy got in, so he was there. I went to the live stage on the floor and I just
Mhm.
watched it there. And
Yeah, that's
seeing
where I was too. There was
yeah,
like a screen up
huge
above or
screen,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And being in that crowd of like 2,000 people by the stage, waiting for the trailer for
Yeah.
episode 9 and watching that trailer with everybody, it was insane. And then,
Yeah.
like, when you heard Palpatine's laugh, everybody went nuts. And then you saw the
Yeah.
title, Rise of Skywalker, and everyone's like, "Oh," that moment
What
was
does
so
it
s
mean?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
That was so special, like, experiencing that with so many fans,
Yeah.
like, it was crazy. So, Chicago for sure was my favorite, man.
Yeah, it's so cool when you're in a crowd like that and that, like everybody's energy, it feels like everybody's energy just syncs up into like all this hype, you know,
Yes.
and I don't know, there's something so amazing about that at celebrations that like that's why I don't ever want to miss one again, you know? Like
Yeah.
I love going to them so much. I don't think we can do panels as with our exhibitor badges, unfortunately. So I'm not gonna
Mm,
get to do any panels this year or whatever,
yeah.
but I think I'll trade that off for selling my art and stuff. So
Oh, no, yeah, of course,
yeah,
yeah, of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
Man, so are you excited or nervous for your first time selling there? But you sell at other cons, so it shouldn't be that much more different, right?
I'm not nervous about like setting up and stuff like that. You know, the language barrier will be a little bit of a thing.
Yeah.
The biggest things I've been worried about this whole time is like customs, getting through,
Mm.
you know, all of that stuff. That's always like scary unknowns.
Yeah, yeah.
But I did just recently have a conversation with somebody who did Tokyo Comic Con, and
Oh,
they put my mind at ease quite a bit with all of their experience doing that, and
yeah.
said that it's not as crazy as you think. You're kind of blowing it up in your mind, but it's
Mhm.
not that difficult to process. So, and then obviously, like I'm going to be bringing like at least 5 original pieces and stuff. So anytime you fly with that type of stuff, there's some nervousness on
Oh,
making sure
yeah.
stuff gets there, it doesn't get damaged, it doesn't
Damage,
get lost. Yeah. So yeah,
man.
definitely got some anxiety about those things, but yeah, got a lot of faith that it'll get there and everything will go all right. And if it doesn't, you know, we'll adapt and overcome. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Now, the very last well, on the very last day of the closing ceremonies panel, they let us know when and where the next one is.
yeah,
So, in Japan, where do you want the next one to be? Because more than likely, it'll probably be 2027, 50 years of Star Wars. Where do you want
yeah.
the next one to come back to?
Just kind of anywhere stateside would be sick
I
to come. Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
would like an easy one after this because
I
this
know.
is like definitely my hardest celebration.
Yeah.
Because we had planned to go anyways, even if I didn't get in, we were
Mhm.
gonna still try to go and make a trip of Japan. So anywhere stateside, I'll be happy with.
Yeah.
Orlando, I think would be sick. I would be fine with Orlando, Anaheim, Chicago, or
Yeah.
if they decided to go somewhere else in the United States, that'd be cool too. I don't really care, but I'd love a easier stateside one. That'd be nice.
Bro, me too. Cause like London, it was a trip. It was fun. It wasn't too bad. And then like we all thought that the 2025 was gonna come back to Orlando. Like everyone predicted it. And
Yeah,
when they said Japan, I'm like, what? Like it was
yeah,
crazy. And it's kind of a good thing because I've always wanted to go to Japan, but that 18-hour flight has always like, yeah,
yeah,
maybe later in life I'll figure it out, but I can't miss it
uh-huh.
now.
Yeah,
But for the next one, I feel it has to be stateside because that's 2 back-to-back international, and I know there's a lot
hmm,
of people in America that can't financially afford to take their whole entire family to London, to
yeah,
Japan. So, I think it's a safe bet it'll be somewhere in America. I feel like Orlando, because it hasn't been there. It'll be 10 years in 2027, and then you
Yeah,
have the theme parks. If they want to really celebrate 50 years of anniversary of Star
yeah,
Wars, they want money, so they'll do a little thing at both.
yeah.
So
I
I
think
can't.
you're right. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
like financially like the
yeah.
decision that they'd probably make. Yeah, yeah,
So I can't wait for the last day of celebration. I mean, it'll be bittersweet ending, but then it's like I'm gonna mentally start preparing. Okay, when and where's the next one? I got to start figuring out where I'm gonna stay, all that
yeah,
stuff. I
yeah.
w- I wonder though if 2026 they'll try to sneak one in and do two back to back in the states because
Uh,
2026 the Mando movie drops. It's gonna be kind of weird.
yeah,
Haven't been back in the theater since 7 years, and there's no celebration to really celebrate that, you know?
yeah. That would be weird. I wonder. Yeah, they. I mean, I can see. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how much of it comes down to logistics
Yeah.
of I don't know, but putting on a con, Reed Pop does this all the time and
Yeah.
stuff. To put
Yeah.
on another con is not that crazy for them. I could see him sneaking another one in 2026. I would love that because then I get another chance to submit for art. I get
Yeah,
another
yeah.
celebration. Like, yeah, I'd be down for that. Waiting 2 years on them sometimes is
It's a
feels like
lot.
too long.
I know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Even like, I remember when I was in Chicago 2019, then they announced Anaheim, we bought tickets right away. We were ready to go the next year, and then everything shut down. Then we had to
Yeah.
wait 2 more years till 2022. I was like, "Bro, I need my celebration, man."
Need my fix, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my
Uh-huh.
dream scenario would be 2026 back in Chicago again because I love
Mhm.
Chicago, and
Yeah,
then 2027 Orlando because Orlando, I'm like an hour, hour and a half from Orlando drive, so it'd be so
yeah,
convenient and
yeah,
it'd be nice to have a cheap celebration where I'm not buying $1,000+ plane ticket to
yeah,
leave the freaking United States. So we'll
yeah.
we'll see soon enough. Literally in 20 days, we'll know where the next one is.
That's crazy, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
20 days. I have so much to do between now and then.
Yeah, man. I
Yeah,
know.
I'm gonna be at C2E2 the weekend before celebration.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man, my schedule is nuts, man. I got to fly out for a buddy's wedding on the Wednesday
Uh-huh.
before C2E2. C2E2 is on Friday. I fly to Vegas, do his wedding, 25 hours in Vegas. We fly back. We drive up to C2E2. We do the weekend con up there.
Yeah.
We drive back Sunday night after we pack up. We have Monday to switch our bags out, and then we
Yeah.
leave Tuesday for Japan.
Not that is
Yeah,
crazy.
it's gonna be a wild one, man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
sleep pretty hard on that plane though.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Time is flying so quick, like, it's crazy. Right now, we're recording, it's Tuesday, April 1st. I fly out next Thursday, which is
Dude,
nuts. Like,
yeah.
I've been prepping and planning for, like, 2 years for this trip, and I feel like
Mhm.
I'm not ready, like, and we're a week away. So I gotta,
Uh-huh.
like, figure out the last final things that I need to do, but yeah, man, we're in the end game right now, which is
We're in the end
nuts.
game. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's very exciting, man. I can't. It's gonna fly by. I know because I got a lot of stuff to do, and it's gonna be so surreal when we're there getting set up, and I just can't wait to meet everybody too, man. The
Yeah.
pre-sales sold out, so I know that there's gonna be already 200. This I can't even calculate this in my head, but there's gonna be 200 people there who've already bought my art. I've
Yup.
never been to a con where like that's happened, so it's pretty surreal and really cool. And you know, the fans, how much they turned out to buy this print and
Yeah.
all my friends' prints and stuff, man. It's a I don't know, dream come true, dude. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. So that's pretty much everything that I had. Do you have anything coming up next that you want to shout out?
Um, man. Yeah, come see me in Japan. Come see me in Chicago. At C2E2. Those are the next cons that I've got on the docket right now. I'm sure I don't know how many people will be. I'm sure people who aren't going to go to Japan might go to C2E2 and stuff. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
come see me there. I think I'm at booth Y4 in Artist Alley.
Nice.
And then yeah, I can't wait to see everybody in Japan, man. I'm so excited. It's gonna be great to meet you in
Yeah,
Japan,
man.
and
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah, Yeah. But yeah, check out my social media is all it's Seth Groves Illustration on mostly I'm on Instagram. So check that out. Check out my website, sethgroves.com. That's all the shout outs I've got, man.
Awesome. So for you guys watching, I'm going to put the link to his Instagram down in the description. Go follow him. But Seth, thank you for coming on, man. This was a blast.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, dude.
Of
Appreciate
course.
it.
Of course. And that's it for this episode of Sith Talk, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Peace.